What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to another Tour Life. Got a good episode for you today. Today is Wednesday, December 12th, 2023. Only a couple more times of saying that, and then we're going to go into the 2024 range. We're going to talk all about the Disc Golf Pro Tour Awards. Why are they just now being announced? I don't know. Uli might know. We got a little bit of player movement. I don't know if there's really that much rumors going on, but we do have some player movement. We have a couple wild stories of the week, and then we'll finish it off with some listener questions. And we might even do a little Sporcle there at the end for me and Uli to really dive into our knowledge of disc golf and see how much we really know. But before any of that, I want to shout out our sponsor for today's video. Our sponsor is Mud Water. Drinking coffee often makes me jittery, keeps me awake without much actual energy, and leaves my body to depend on it daily. So I've been drinking Mud Water to replace coffee while still having the all-day energy I need without the crash or jitters. Mud Water is a healthy habits brand, best known for its popular coffee alternative, Rise Cacao. Did I say that right? Cacao? That's such a, I want to say cocoa, but I believe it's cacao. You familiar with cacao, Uli?
I'm not. I don't know what that is.
I believe it is cacao. It's got 4 functional mushrooms, and with only a fraction of caffeine as a cup of coffee, you get natural energy without the jitters or crash of coffee. Plus, it's a Whole30 approved, 100% USDA certified organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan, and kosher. Mudwater also donates monthly to support psychedelic research and has since day one. They believe the country is in a mental health epidemic and that psychedelic assisted therapy is one of the most effective tools we have to treat mental health conditions. The Mudwater is hooking you guys up with a special discount and a whole bunch of freebies. If you go to mudwater.com/foundation, you get $20 off your subscription, a free frother, and free samples of their coconut creamer and sweetener. That's mudwtr.com/foundation. So shout out to Mudwater for sponsoring today's video. And we are moving forward. We're doing something a little bit different. So this is for our viewers on YouTube. This is a premiere. So it's kind of like a pseudo fake live. We're filming this right now, actually, in the morning. I even think I said the wrong date. It's actually Wednesday, December 13th, not the 12th. Today is the 12th when we're actually filming this. So let me give you a little backstory. What we're doing. The internet, Uli, has been an issue. It's been no surprise to our viewers here on YouTube. We've been having some issues with quality control. And it got to the point, Silas was sending me these clips that he edited for like social stuff. And I'm like, I don't think I can post this. Uli looks like he has 4 pixels. I can't post this.
I look like those old video games from like 96, man.
Yes. So we're trying something different here. We're going to be filming, hopefully. Right now we're filming on Tuesday morning. I think we're going to start filming on Wednesday morning and then releasing the podcast at Wednesday night at its normal time at 8 o'clock for a premiere. Audio listeners, nothing changes on your end. Honestly, YouTube listeners, nothing changes either. The only difference is it's kind of a pseudo live. We're filming this a little bit in the past versus in the past. But hopefully this fixes like the quality situation moving forward. If it doesn't, then I'm not really quite sure. There's a couple other things that we're going to try to do. I think me and Uli are going to try to use like Ethernet cords instead of the Wi-Fi, and hopefully that helps as well. Other than that, I'm not really quite sure what else we do, Uli.
Yeah, I think we're dang, I'm blurry again.
Yeah, well, we're just going to fight through it. Let's just fight through it.
What the heck?
It's a weird situation. I'm not really quite sure. You have it out with your provider over there. Something's going on.
Well, I just connected my Ethernet and it was fine, and now it's bad. But I am getting blown up with text messages right now, and it's connected through like I have the Apple computer. I think that might be it. I think people are just blowing me up. But no, it just is what it is, and we'll figure it out for everybody. We will. I mean, remember the crackle? We figured that out.
Oh, we got through the crackle. We're starting to get close to just like buying a studio somewhere and just freaking flying in to do this podcast every week.
I'd
So
be
that way
down.
we
I'll
just
go
have-
splitsies with you
We
because this
just
is
have
brutal.
the best
Dude, I
quality of all
can't.
time.
You wouldn't imagine how many text messages I just got as soon as the show started. It's like my group
Who's
text went
texting
like
you?
this.
Who's texting you?
It's a group text, and I'm in like
Those are the
3
worst.
of them, and it's going
Those are the
bonkers
worst.
right now. It's
Those are
unbelievable.
the worst.
Yeah.
Hey, let's not let. If you're listening to this, do not text Uli from
Ever.
like 11 from like 11 a.m. to like 1 p.m. on Wednesdays. Don't do it. Keep Uli free there. All right. I went to the worst NFL game of the year this past week.
That was tough.
It was very tough. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I am talking about the Vikings versus the Raiders. Now, if you would have told me, all right, Brodie, you're going to be playing against, by me, I'm saying the Raiders. The Raiders are going to be playing against the third string quarterback. The starting running back for the Vikings is going to get injured. One of the top wide receivers in the entire league, Justin Jefferson, is also going to only catch one ball and then get his back blown out, and he's going to be injured. And you're going to lose by 3. I would have been shocked. That game, I mean, did you watch it at all? I don't think anyone that didn't have.
Why
to
would
watch
anybody
did
watch that
it.
game?
Yeah, I don't think anyone.
I didn't have any skin in the game either. Like I didn't have any fantasy players. Luckily, I was playing against Jacobs. He didn't do much.
No.
So it was a boring game. I was already bummed about my Steelers losing to the freaking Patriots.
That won me my Survivor League.
You picked them?
No. So, well, kind of won me the Survivor League. So, me and this other guy were the last 2. He picked the Steelers, which you would think is a great pick. They ended up losing. Oh no, what just happened? Oh gosh. Is this better or worse, Silas? This might be worse.
What happened?
You just like dropped off completely.
I know.
Which
is it
which
my
I don't
internet?
Which I don't know if that's happened before on the live. I don't think you drop off in the live that much.
Maybe it's me. Maybe I need to unplug the Ethernet. Maybe it's bad.
Maybe you need to go back to the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Test it out.
I just did it.
All right. Well, we'll keep it. We'll keep it on wraps.
What's that about?
I mean, you're here. You're not leaving, so that's positive. We'll keep going and see where it goes.
1 second. Give me a 1 second. I gotta freaking somehow figure out how to turn off notifications. This is unbelievable, dude.
You think your Wi-Fi is getting overrun by notifications on your phone on text messages?
Maybe. As soon as they started, the thing went bad. I don't know how to do this.
Maybe you can go like silent mode.
That's what I'm trying to think.
You would have to like log out of your Apple iMessage is what you would do.
I'm going to just see if I can leave the group, maybe temporarily.
Silas, any Wi-Fi helps over there? Any internet helps? What's your speed? Have you ever done a speed test, Uli?
Yeah, I'd be interesting to hear that.
Let me do it right now.
Go to Google on your computer, not on your phone. And just type in on your computer, type in speed test, and then literally it'll pop up and you can run one. Because mine right now is 104 down and 60 up is what I'm rocking, which is completely good.
Yeah, you're chilling.
All right, let me try. I left that message group, so that's sick.
Yeah, go to Google, speed test, and then do a little tester. and see what that's showing, because it might just be you have trash internet, which is unfortunate. But I've been there. I had trash internet, and where was it, Silas? Was it my house in Lynchburg? We had trash internet.
Yeah, you had like a mobile hotspot for internet.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
trash.
I had to
It was terrible.
buy something to even get internet out there. They didn't even have internet. Really bad.
I have 223 down, 17.6 up, which is good.
Yeah, the down's great. The up's not incredible, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
The up is what matters because you're
But
uploading to.
Well, that's low for what I'm used to. It's my internet. I'm gonna have the guy come out tomorrow.
But 17
No
should
problem.
still be somewhat decent, right?
Yeah,
you
it
shouldn't
should be
pixelated from
decent.
17.
What browser are you using?
I'm in Chrome.
Okay, that's good.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Are there other people on your internet right now?
Yeah, are you just downloading movies on there or something?
Yeah,
No.
is other stuff happening? No,
Absolutely
nothing's
not, no.
happening on your internet.
No, Sarah might be
Huh.
on her phone, but
Huh. Because that's the only thing I can think of, is if like other
I think
people
it's my
are
internet.
somehow
I think the connection comes in and out, and it's just bad. Like something's going on. I have these. It was so bad that I got those little devices that I could plug into my internet. Blink. Like I'll
no
show
idea
you.
what that is. No idea what you're talking about.
Anyways,
Devices that
so
you plug
it
into
makes
your
the
internet.
Wi-Fi better, so it can bounce around, and that's what I plugged in. Is I had like a capsule where the internet goes straight to there, and then you can plug it into your computer.
So you've had internet issues outside of just doing tour life stuff too, though. Not just when you do tour life.
Sometimes it's amazing and it lasts a long time, and then all of a sudden
And
it's
sometimes
crap.
it's trash. Okay. So yeah, right now when we tested this on Monday, you were just having a good streak, and now we're in trash mode.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like I said, I can't put my finger on it, but I do know I pay for the best internet that Rock Hill provides to
that you can
people.
do. Yeah, no, there's definitely. I mean, like I said, my Lynchburg situation, I had no better option.
But let's get on with the show.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna run with it. If Uli's a little pixelated, then he's a little pixelated.
Maybe if I come back in, it might be better.
Sure, you can try that.
Let me just try it real quick.
But I think this is also, just me and Silas now, chilling, hanging out. I had high hopes for this, Silas. I'm not gonna lie. I thought this was the future. I thought we had something going here, but hey, everyone's on this in a journey. We'll look back at this someday and laugh. We'll look back at this someday and laugh at it. Sure.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah, for now. Yeah. All right, let's run it. Let's just keep going.
Let's do it.
Let's just keep going. All right. Did anything exciting happen? Okay, so Survivor League, what I was getting at, he picked Steelers. Steelers lost. I picked Packers against the Giants. Packers lost. So we ended up splitting the pot. So unfortunate, but it is what it is. But Packers let me down. That was one of the worst games I've ever seen the Packers play. Like they dropping punts.
That was bad.
Just missing field goals. Disgusting. Anything happened in your week?
No, I mean, lots of Vlogmas.
Yeah.
You know what did happen though last night? Captain's Raptors went on pre-sale. And those are on pre-sale for any vendors out there who are listening till the 22nd of December, which is huge. And then if you want to buy one from your retailers, that goes live on January 19th, which is huge.
And I think I just got a message saying that they might be sending me some of those bad boys to try out. That will be
They're nice.
Exciting. Yeah, they look sick. I think that's also part of the giveaway too. So if you haven't following,
no, that's regular Raptor. These are cap wraps, I'm sure.
Oh.
Yep.
Cap wraps versus Raptor.
Mm-hmm. These are the stable boys. Those other ones are kind of straight.
Gotcha. Okay. Same plastic though, I believe.
Yep, same plastic. Yeah.
Same plastic. Okay. All right. Disc Golf Pro Tour Awards. And we got the man himself that was a part of the award show. So Uli, hopefully you can answer some of my questions because I have some about this. My first question, before we even get into the awards, my first question is, what's the reasoning behind, I mean, the season has been over for well over a month at this point.
Yeah.
Why are we waiting so long to list all these awards off? I feel like the hype is kind of dead. Like this would have been so much better to be released like a week after USDGC.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a scientist, man. I don't know their reasoning behind this stuff. I feel the same way. I think that I think they need to have the fan vote and do all this mumbo jumbo. There should be just an easy thing that they do. I don't know how any of the voting works.
Yeah.
I don't think fans should be voting in anything. Fans know nothing, honestly.
All-Stars. I think All-Stars makes sense because like those people will
how are fan votes getting like the one that I was what do you call it, nominated for comeback player of the year? It was like
I don't think there were fan votes in that.
There was.
I thought there was only media and tour players.
No, it was media and fan. Yeah.
There's a fan aspect too. I didn't see any sort of breakdown of that, so I don't. I just have information
because I had to read it off. I think in the show I read it off and it said fan votes.
Yeah,
which is kind of crazy to me because why would it, like, fans are just going to pick their favorite player that.
Sure.
Like what?
Which should
that
should be factored in though, but like very small, right? Like I think in other sports they do have fan votes, but like you have, let's say you have 100 votes. 99 of them are going to like people that know, and then like one goes to like the fan, right? Like whoever. So like there is a fraction of the vote that matters for fans, but it's not enough to sway. But in all-star voting, I don't mind that. I think in all-star voting,
cards and doing all that stuff. Yeah, whoever your favorite people are, of course you're going to vote your favorite people are so you can watch them. But for awards, like, I don't know, man. I'm not a big fan of having a piece of that be the fan vote because you're just going to pick your favorite player.
Yeah, no,
that's what a fan is.
I completely agree. I will say the award show though was cool. I liked it. You guys did you and Big Germ did an awesome job. I thought that was really, really cool. Again, I'm going to say I think the timing of it makes no sense. I think a lot of this conversation has like the height at the end of USDGC. That was at the height of like, should Calvin win Player of the Year? Should Isaac win Player of the Year? Some people were even saying, should Gannon win? But now it's like it's been dragged out so long. The timing doesn't make really much sense. And the other thing that's very odd is you have like the award show, and I think the people that watch that from the beginning to the end, awesome. But a lot of times you're not going to have people want to watch an entire award show, but they're going to want to know who won what. And it's very weird. Like the Pro Tour is like slowly like releasing information that's already technically out there. So there are going to be people listening to this podcast. I don't know if they've released everything at this point, but they're like every day they're making an Instagram post of like MPO Player of the Year. And then the next day they're like comeback Player of the Year. And then why not this award show goes, then you have like a post that literally says everything, like a full list of these are all the award winners. Here they are. It's very odd the way that they've kind of done this. I don't know the strategy behind it, and I don't know if you know anything about it. You might just.
I have no clue. Everybody always asks me what's going on with the Pro Tour. I know zippity doodah. I know when to show up to do my job. Sometimes, and that's it. Like, for example, the award show. I got a notification like 3 days prior saying, hey, you need to be at this location to do the award show. They didn't tell me what it even was. I just showed up and then free rolled it. That's why I was in my Pittsburgh gear. I didn't know I was going to like be on camera and like, you know what I mean, hosting this thing. They just said, hey, we're doing an awards thing. We need you to be at this location. And so I'll show up in my Pittsburgh gear to, you know, announce these prestigious awards. And I'm like, I didn't know I was going to be like on camera the whole time. I thought I was going to be like commentating. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, at least Jordan didn't show up like in a tuxedo, because that would have been really awkward. He was like super dressed up, like black tie. And you're just
it would have been better
in.
than the Steelers gear. But yeah, I don't know, man. They're doing their thing, and we're just here for the ride.
Yeah. All right. Fair. I mean, fair enough. All right. Let's talk about some of the winners. So we'll run through the All-Stars right now. So MPO All-Stars, you have Calvin Heimberg, Isaac Robinson, Gannon Burr, Ricky Wysocki, Eagle McMahon, Matt Oram, Simon Lizotte, Kyle Klein, Anthony Barella, Cole Rodolin, James Proctor, and Ezra Robinson. Anyone on that list that surprises you, or anyone that you're like, hey, this person got left off?
I think they nailed it.
Yeah. I'm going to look up. I want to look up the world rankings real quick and just kind of see based off of, hold on. I'm in a group text now. Hey, I'm filming something.
That didn't work for me.
Please
I left the group
off on texting right now.
Hey, listen, I literally left
what
the
is going
text
on with
messages.
us, Uli?
I left it, and then I got like 5 minutes ago, I got another one being like, welcome back. And then they're just bombarding me with more texts.
Yeah. It's almost like I text this way too, though, so I'm not gonna like hate on it, but when you're doing something, it's the most annoying thing ever. When you have, let's say you have like 5 thoughts, I'm sending 5 separate texts.
Yeah.
Versus just one text with all the thoughts. So you're just like ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
And it's like
blowing them up
all
for
right.
sure.
So looking at the world rankings versus Eagles number 1 right now in the world. What the heck? When did that happen? That happened after USDGC?
I guess.
Okay. So the notable names to me that aren't on this list, you have Paul Macbeth, right now is ranked 3rd in the world. He's not on the All-Stars. Al Klein's there, Gannon's there, Isaac's there, Matty O, Bradley Williams, 10th in the world, Aaron Gossage, 11th in the world, Chris Dickerson, 12th in the world. Then you have Nicholas Antilla at 14, Corey Ellis.
I can't imagine
Joel Freeman.
I can't imagine that Macbeth just didn't make it. Like that's I think he deferred.
Himself? Yeah.
That's what I would guess.
That probably makes the most sense, right? Because he's probably, again, we don't exactly know the percentage breakdown, but I'm pretty sure the fan vote's pretty important for this.
Yeah.
So you would assume he would get a massive fan vote. And you're probably right on that. You're probably right on him deferring. All right, FPO All-Stars, Kristen Tatar, Missy Gannon, Owen Scoggins, Holland Hanley, Ella Hansen, Kat Murch, Haley King, Katrina Allen, Allie Smith, Macy Valadiaz, Sarah Hokum, and Jessica Weiss. Again, nothing too crazy here that jumps out at me. I think Allie Smith gets in there because of her big win. And I think Paige Pierce isn't in there because she's still coming back from injury. Other than that, that seems pretty standard All-Stars that I would guess going into it. Now, talking about the MPO Player of the Year, Calvin Heimberg was announced as MPO Player of the Year. He received 68% of the votes from the media members, 53% of the tour card holders, so pretty much split almost. And then Isaac Robinson, who ended up getting second, he received 26% of the media members. So between Calvin and Isaac, they accounted for 94% of the votes for MPO Player of the Year. And then 40% of the tour card holders actually picked Isaac. So what that kind of tells me is the media guys, they're looking for player of the year. To them, they're looking at it more on a season thing. How did you perform at every event throughout the entire season? Yeah. And I think the tour card holders are doing more of what season would I have, would I like? Like, what season do I think is the best? And we've kind of discussed this before. I think Calvin's even said it. He would trade out his season that he had to win 2 majors. But the question is that actually what player of the year really should mean? So that kind of shows you the difference in what people are thinking.
Did we ever come up with a good idea of what it does mean, though? Or is it just still a big debate? Like, what is it? What is player of the year? The best player?
I think it's okay for it to be a debate. Because if it was so cut and dry, there wouldn't be any voting. It would just be look at the stats.
It would be who had the better season. Like, what does that mean? Who has the better season? What does it mean?
But Uli, if it came down, if we literally were like, okay, who had a better season? It's all about winning, right? And that's what it came down to. Then there wouldn't be a discussion. It would literally just be like, okay, well, this person won this much and won this many majors, so they got this points. This person won this much, so they got this points, so this person wins. The fact that
why can't it be like that?
I think that's not. I don't think that leads to what we're having right now. It doesn't lead to like. There's no debate on who won the Disc Golf Pro Tour points. Right? There's no debate. No one ever's like, oh no, this person won. It's literally a point base that you get. This guy won. So there's no discussion about it. It's a simple fact. I think like the Heisman, to me, the Heisman in college football, that's a cool award because no one really knows like how it should be voted either, right? There are some people out there that are like, you vote for the quarterback on the best team. And that's who wins it. And then some people are like, well, no, this person over here, like, yeah, they lost a whole bunch, but they balled out and had crazy stats, so they should win it. Like the Heisman is awesome because of how everyone views it differently. And to me, that's like the player of the year. Everyone views it a little bit differently, so we can have these conversations.
Yeah,
I don't know. You can make it to where like it goes to the right person every year, but
that's
you're
what
eliminating.
It should be.
But you're eliminating the discussion. You're limiting the discussion.
Yeah. No, you can always.
Do you think
have
Calvin wasn't deserving? Do you think Calvin wasn't deserving of it?
Depends on which way you view it. Like what? Here's the thing. I guess it comes down to this. How do you want to be viewed from your peers, and how do you want to be viewed from the fans and let's say media people? Because if you think about it from your peers, which to me is like one of the more important things, right?
Yep.
You want to be respected among your peers. Every single peer of Isaac's would take his season over Calvin's.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah. But is that what the award is? Is the award as whose season would you rather take, or is the award?
How could it not? That's what I'm saying. How could it not be? Just be like, okay, so I want Isaac's season for sure. Calvin wins then he's the player of the year. That's the season that I'm taking.
But here's a perfect.
Why would I ever want another season, Brodie? Why would I ever want to go like this? Why would I go, okay, who's the player of the year? It's the best season, the season that I would want. I wouldn't pick Calvin. I would pick Isaac.
Okay, let me try to give you an analogy. Do you think the majority of college football quarterbacks want to win a national championship?
Yes.
Okay, so last year you had I'm blanking on the guy's name. Who was the quarterback for Georgia last year? It was oh gosh, what was his name? Stetson Bennett, right? Am I right there? I think I'm right. You had Stetson Bennett, right? If you go to, so we just made a point, like if you're competitive, you're going into the season, you want to win the national championship. So every college quarterback would probably want to trade their season for Stetson Bennett to win a national championship. However, there are people that are playing, like perfect example is this year, Daniels, who ended up winning the Heisman. His defense sucks. Like they would score 50 points and still lose games because of how bad LSU's defense was. So I'm sure he would have been like, man, it would have been awesome to be in the playoffs. It would have been awesome to like have a chance to win a national championship. But ultimately, he had the best season as a quarterback. He won the Heisman, and now he's probably going to get a big paycheck going into the NFL. And someone like a Stetson Bennett, I don't know even if he did get drafted. I don't know if he did or not. But he's probably not going to stay in the NFL, and he's probably not going to start. So like that's what I'm saying is like, yes, obviously anyone in their right mind would love to pick 2 majors and say, yes, I want 2 majors. I would rather win 2 majors and miss every cut all season, right? But if you look at what Calvin did this season, he had an incredible year. And so that's where you can have that discussion.
Oh, I get it.
And to me, I like that.
I get it because like,
are you upset Calvin won? Are you upset Calvin won?
No. Okay. Because this is what I say.
Would you have been upset if Isaac won?
What?
Would you have been upset if Isaac won?
Depends. It depends on what it is. You get what I'm saying? It depends on what it is because I've always said this for like player rankings. Said player goes second at all the majors. Other player wins 1 major. I take the 1 major.
Yeah.
And so it's a weird debate. It really is, especially amongst your peers. My view on it and your view on it is completely different than said guy who doesn't play on the pro tour at home because he's a fan. I understand what it takes to win major championships. And it is tough. I've never done it, and I've done every other thing that you could possibly think of in the game. All of it. Never did that. I've never won like a point up, like the Elite Series points too. You know what I mean? Something like that. So to me, when I look at the highest achievement in this game out of my 20 years being on the tour, winning a major is at the very, very tippity top. It's the hardest thing to do. And so I say, no, Isaac did something because Calvin couldn't get it done. You know what I mean? Kyle did something. Calvin didn't get it done. I would take those 2 things because I know what it's like to be a consistent player like Calvin. I know what that's like. I've had seasons where I played fantastic the whole entire season, didn't get a dub. 10th, top 4s. I think one season I went top 4 in every major. No dub. I would trade them all for a major.
Okay. Let's not talk about trading seasons. Let's just talk about, if I asked you the question, who played better at the majors?
Yeah.
Okay. 4 majors. Who played better at the majors? You have player A. He won 1 major and got top 25 at the other 3. Player B got second at all 4 majors. Who played better at the majors?
Well, player B.
Okay. And that's
I get that.
That ultimately is kind of like,
that's my argument. Yeah.
The argument is like there's one side of the table, which I think the 40% of people that picked Isaac Robinson, those are the people that are saying player of the year should go to the person that I would want their season.
100%.
And then the other side of the argument is player of the year should go to the person that had the best season.
Yes.
Those 2 things are separate. Now, what I'll say about this though, and that's why I asked you, would you be upset if Isaac won? Were you upset when Calvin won? This is not like what the PDGA's player of the year was, where you could have someone that just went and played random. I don't know if they're doing that still, but you could have someone play A tiers and rack up a bunch of points playing A tiers and become the PDGA player of the year. I don't think in the way that we have this set up, I don't think that will ever happen. Right. Yeah. And it kind of showed. I think Gannon was a notch below Isaac and Calvin's year. And it looks like he received 7% roughly, I would say, like at max, he received 7% of tour card holders, and he would have received at max 6% of media members. So that just shows me right there, like, I don't think we're ever going to have someone that like is not deserving of this award win it. And we're like, what the heck? This year was kind of weird because of how it all turned out. I think if Calvin would have won a few more tournaments that he was really close in, I think it would have been a no-brainer. But the fact that Isaac did win I think it made it a little bit tougher but this is good. You want discussion. You want people talking about it. You want people passionate about it.
And it's the fact that this, in our sport, winning the world championship is the thing. It's the thing. Mm-hmm. And so it like counts quadruple towards your player of the year stat. I feel like it has to, because it's quadruple of any other tournament that we play. And I don't think a lot of people really took that into consideration. Not only did Isaac win the Champions Cup and everybody was like, holy cow, what the heck just happened? He just absolutely dominated it. Then he goes and he backs it up with a world title. That's crazy. That's a crazy year. When's the last time somebody did something like that?
I mean, it's going to be tougher and tougher to do too, obviously, right?
Well, maybe not for Isaac or Calvin. Yeah. Those guys are, and I'm not, it's all a discussion. I'm happy that Calvin won. If I were to be outside source and never play disc golf, I could look at the stats and be like, okay, this is the player of the year. He had the best season. Most consistent player, won tournaments, great. I'm pretty sure he finished top 5 in all the majors. That's your player of the year.
I just don't want it to get too, like, this is how you should be voting, because then at that point it's like, don't vote.
Right.
Like if there's a structure of like, hey, this is how much majors are worth. This is how much a win on the Pro Tour is worth. This is how much a top 5 is worth. This is how much if that's how it is, and that's how we're telling everyone to vote, then there's no reason to vote. We already have it. That you're just telling me a scoring system. Well, just crunch the numbers.
What about this? Okay. Because this happens in like basketball a lot, like with the MVP race. Okay. Mm-hmm. To where some guy just wins it over and over and over again, and they finally just give it to somebody else. What about this scenario? Calvin has the same season for 5 straight years. Isaac has the same season for 5 straight years. Isaac never wins the award. That's fair?
No, I think at that point, I think you're right. I think at that point, because there is voters and the voters will probably most likely stay. A lot of them will stay the same throughout the years. There definitely becomes a time where you're 100% right of like, hey, we've been voting for Calvin and he's kind of just doing the same thing, and Isaac's still winning 2 majors every year.
Yeah.
Like we might like, I'm going to vote for Isaac this year. I could totally see that happening. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're on the same page. Possible. It's just a complete crazy little, it happened to
LeBron,
thing.
right? There's multiple years that LeBron should have won it, but they're like, we can't just keep giving it to LeBron. So
then they gave it to Westbrook.
Let's just pass this around a little bit.
Oh, goodness.
All right. FPO player of the year, way less kind of conversation with this.
Yeah.
You had Kristen Tatar receiving 100% of the media votes and 87.5% of the FPO tour card holders. Now, this created speculation by me. I saw that. I was like, 87.5%. Some people kind of cranked the numbers and like figured out like how many people that could be. They don't tell us exactly how many people voted, right? So if let's say there are 40 FPO tour card holders, but maybe a handful of those didn't vote, then that actually would change the number of how many people didn't vote for Kristen, right? We don't have the exact number of how many people didn't vote for Kristen, but what we do know is there are people that didn't vote for Kristen. And this is what drove me kind of wild, is like, we need to figure out these people. Who did not vote for Kristen for player of the year? Because it wasn't like a Calvin and Isaac situation where I can make an argument for one. Kristen had the best season of all time in FPO. Hands down. Never been done before. Hands down. If you're not voting for her as a player for player of the year, you are now taking something else outside of whether or not this person was the best. You're taking some other variable and you're adding it in that should not be.
I'll say it's personal at that point. It's personal.
It's a joke.
It's personal.
And I want names. I want to know because I want to know who on the FPO is a joke. I want to know because you are. If you did not vote Kristen for Player of the Year, and some people were saying, "Oh, knowing Kristen, she probably didn't vote for herself." So that I reached out to Kristen. I asked her, "Did you vote for yourself?" And she said, "I didn't vote."
Yeah.
She did say if she was going to vote, she probably wouldn't vote for herself, but she didn't vote. So that makes it. Sorry, my dogs are nuts.
Yeah, they're mad too.
They're pissed off. And some people are like, some people are probably asking me, why do you care so much? Whatever. I care because this isn't a hey, who do you like on tour? Who should be like who was the best player, but also did a lot of charity work? Because we had a vote like this in Ultimate Frisbee. It was called the Callahan Award winner, and the Callahan Award winner kind of was supposed to go to the best player in college, but there was a bunch of other stuff tied to it of like sportsmanship, how they were liked, all those things. That's not Player of the Year. Player of the Year isn't do fans like you, players like you. It's simply who had the best season. So I want to know, because I want to know who I can look in the face and say, you're a joke.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. It's a no debate situation. It's a no debate. There's no argument. There's no argument.
And if you're voting for yourself, you're a joke. Like if you're like, I'm going to vote for myself, you're a joke.
Yeah.
There's just no way about it. So crazy. I messaged Trevor to see if he could like start doing some journalistic work to try to figure out who were the players that ended up not voting for her. And he was like, he said something which I've never heard this before. He said that the Disc Golf Pro Tour has something to where if they feel like there's some sort of like collusion or voting for your friends or something like that, like your vote gets revoked and moving forward. I've never seen that. Maybe that was somewhere in the fine print when we were voting.
Maybe.
But like I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't hate that. Like if you voted for anyone but Kristen, like, yeah, you don't get to vote next year because you're a joke.
Yeah.
All right. Some other awards that were given out. We have MPO most improved Cole Radalin. This one, no brainer.
No brainer.
Right.
Yeah.
I think last year we got to see like sparks of Cole. Like we got to see like what his ceiling could be. And then this year, obviously at Ledgestone being his big shining moment, we really got to see like, holy cow, like this guy's a killer.
It reminded me of like Gannon, from the year prior where he was at the Pro Tour Championships and he really made a name for himself in the Pro Tour Championships. And then the next year, had his breakout season, won the USDGC.
Yep.
I mean, it reminded me a lot of that.
Yeah. And then the other one, FPO, this makes a lot of sense as well. Most improved, Allie Smith. Now, she wasn't really someone on like the radar last year. So I guess, I mean, to me, did she not get like rookie? Like, was she not qualified for Rookie of the Year? Did she play enough last year to not get qualified?
I don't remember.
Yeah, look up how much she played.
Yeah.
Because
I think she did play on tour a few times for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the case, then for sure most improved.
Yeah.
Because she ended up actually winning on tour, and I don't even remember her playing last year.
Yeah.
So clearly, let's see. What did she play last year? So she played Champions Cup. She did Ledgestone, Des Moines, Worlds.
And what is their finishes? Any top 10s?
That's all she played.
Oh, okay.
World, she got 40. That's all she played on tour. World, she got 42nd. Des Moines, she got 32nd. 26 at Ledgestone. 26 at Champions Cup, and 22nd at Music City. So my guess is I wouldn't really consider that playing on tour, right? That's like 5 or 6 events, but I think that might be the Juliana Korver rule of counting as technically not able to win Rookie of the Year. So it makes sense. right? So I guess technically
Yeah,
she was
and
not
her
qualified
places
for Rookie of the
improved
Year.
big time from those 5. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, definitely is a contender and someone too I'm looking forward to seeing maybe if she has like another breakthrough, jumps another plateau going into next season. All right, comeback player of the year, Uli. You might have a little bit of a stronger take than me on this because I actually have a pretty strong take on this. You got second place. You lost it to James Proctor. I don't think this award makes any sense. With James winning, it doesn't make any sense to me. Because if you look at James Proctor, he's very good at this. Like he's always been very good. And like I'm looking at some of his results from 2022. He got 10th at the Sula Open, 20th at the European Open. Let's see.
That was this year?
No, this is last year. 21st at MVP, 15th at USCGC. That was in 2022. Didn't he have like a really good tournament somewhere too? 21st at Portland Open. Like he's had really solid finishes. And I don't know. To me, like even going back to 2021, he got 9th at Portland Open, 2nd at Masters Cup, 15th at OTB. I don't know. To me, like comeback player of the year, should it even be injury based? Do you think it should be someone that like was injured and then they came back? Like what does this award mean to you?
Well, in the description when we were announcing it at the award show, it told us what that is. Somebody who's coming off of a slump, somebody who coming back from possibly an injury. And yeah, I mean, it's a bit cryptic, I guess, what they're looking for.
This one's the toughest one, I think.
He definitely had a way better season. I think he could have been in the contention for most improved. Kind of makes sense because of the finishes. I mean, he got like top 10 in the Pro Tour points final. But yeah, I'm not sure what they're looking for. I mean,
I hate this award. The more I think about it, I hate this award.
Yeah, I don't know what they're looking for. I mean, my season went like this. I missed 9 straight cashes on the Pro Tour. Mm-hmm. And then from that point on, had a fairly good season. It's not like I was top 10ing every single time or anything, but I definitely flipped my tournament around or my season around. And I made the finals, which was huge for me. But I don't know. I was hoping that I would get the award because of the hard work that I put in for sure. But I can't take anything away from James because of the great season that he had. So he won.
Let's cancel this award. Let's not have this award again because I think this award makes no sense. You have Valerie Mandujano winning it for FPO. She was injured and then she just came back and played and won. I mean, I guess you just give it to Paige Pierce next year. Like this award's dumb. This award's dumb. Let's cancel this award. Let's do, you know what?
I was hoping, I'll tell you this much. I was hoping that I would get the award because then maybe I would get considered for the All-Star event. Ooh. You know what I mean? And so that was my selfish reasoning behind that. It wasn't for me to take the award from somebody else. It was the fact that, hey, if I win this award, I might get considered to be in the All-Star, thing, which would have been awesome. And so that's why I was a little bummed that I won. But congrats to James, man. Honestly,
of course, no, winning an award is always dope. Yeah. I just think this one, like, there might not be someone. You're always gonna have someone most improved. You're always gonna have like Rookie of the Years too. We'll get to those in a second. You're always gonna have Player of the Year. That makes sense. You might not have a comeback Player of the Year. Like it just might not. There might not be someone like that. It doesn't really make that much sense. So I think get away with this. And if you want to have another award, add something like off the course. So someone like most, like someone
influential
that gave,
or something.
yeah, like or someone that gave back to the sport the most, right? Like someone that is, out there, like a good person for that would be like Ella Hansen with her work that she does with Uplay, right? Like stuff like that, of where like maybe that's a good award to maybe exchange it with, because the comeback, to me it's like, what, you're gonna have Ricky play, like miss 3 cuts and then all of a sudden win the next tournament and he wins comeback player of the year?
Yeah, I think he was actually in the running for winning it. I think it was us. It was Proctor, myself, and Ricky. Which I think Ricky actually, no offense to Proctor, but I think Ricky made more sense than even Proctor, because he missed a bunch of tournaments.
He's injured, yeah.
He was injured, and then he came back and he won the Pro Tour Championships with missing a bunch of tournaments. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good comeback story to me.
Yeah, no, I agree. We have Rookie of the Year, Luke Taylor. He probably had the best acceptance speech out of everyone, because he did an ace. He made an ace right before he did his acceptance speech. And also, I was paying attention, no cuts. So like that's very nerve-wracking to make the shot and then have to be like, all right, now I have to talk for 30 to 45 seconds and like not mess up.
Yeah.
Or else it looks.
I wonder if he aced before and messed up. Like if that was his first ace.
I gotta try it again.
Yeah.
That's a good question. But yeah, shout out to him. He had an incredible season. I think Aiden Scott was also close, who also had a really good rookie season as well. And then you have Rookie of the Year.
But that's one more thing.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. Why isn't Parker Welk the winner? It was his rookie season, but he had played.
Was it?
Yeah, but he had played a couple the year before.
He probably played too many. That's the Juliana Korver. Rule. You can't. They had to have set a certain number. You have to set a certain number of. This is how many events count. And yeah, I agree with you, of where it's like, I mean, there is like some of this stuff is like pretty ridiculous too, where they're like, this person moved up 45 spots from last year in the Disc Golf Pro Tour standing. It's like, well, yeah, no duh. They played 3 events last year, and this year they played 30 events. Like anyone's going to move up.
Stats,
anyone's going to get way more points by playing way more events. Like that's a no-brainer. But yeah, see how many events he played the year before, because they had to make the Juliana Korver, because when Juliana Korver won as a 6-time world champion, Rookie of the Year, it made absolutely no sense.
Yeah, that was weird.
They had to set the line at a certain amount of events, so that didn't ever happen. That never happened again. So my guess is Parker played whatever that number was the year before, and so he wasn't, because he should have. I mean, you win. If you're a rookie and you win on tour, like you're Rookie of the Year. It doesn't really matter what else you do.
Yeah.
Like you've won the award. For FPO, Rookie of the Year is Silva Saarinen. This is the person that I've talked about a couple times here on the podcast. Someone that I've definitely kept my eye on as to potentially someone that could compete. I don't know if she necessarily has the distance to maybe compete at every course, but her putt is one of the best, I think, in the FPO. So someone that I've definitely have kept my eye on to see, the progress, and a very deserving FPO Rookie of the Year. She's also done a lot of good stuff too over on the European tours over there as well. Now, I did, Uli, get the media voter. Oh, yeah.
I got it.
What's the Parker Welk situation?
The Parker Welk situation is he played Worlds. He got 86th.
Yeah.
He played OTB, 58th. Yep. Santa Cruz, which was a silver, 34th. And he also played Vegas. That was it.
I think 4 might be the number. It
has to be.
Yeah, so it didn't count. Yeah.
You think that's a good number? I think that's a garbage number. I'm going to be honest. I think that's a garbage number.
I mean, what is that? That's like 25% of the season?
How is Worlds part of it?
No, it's less than 25, 20%. Well, I mean, the majors have to be part of it because you can't have someone play all 4 majors. I mean, imagine this, Uli. Imagine, again, our sport's kind of weird, but imagine Juliana Korver decided like, hey, this year I'm only going to play all 4 majors. She plays all 4 majors, does decently at all 4, and then plays the tour next year and then gets Rookie of the Year.
How about
you could
this?
have someone technically do that?
No. What about this?
Yes, you could.
No, listen to this scenario though. There's a guy. He Monday qualifies at like 5 events. No tour card on the PGA Tour.
Okay.
He gets his tour card. That's his rookie year, isn't it? If you earn your tour card.
If that's the way our season was, I would agree with you. Like if that's how the tour worked, I would agree with you. But that's not really how the tour works.
Yeah, I know.
That's why, like you can, to play 4 events. Like if you're decent at disc golf and you're like, I want to play 4 events this year, you can play 4 events.
Yeah.
If you're really good at golf and you're like, I want to play 4 events this year,
someday it will be like that though.
Someday it will, and I think that's when you can change it.
Yeah.
To where it's like your first year of having a tour card.
Yeah.
That's your rookie season.
Then make it none. You can't have played any pro tours the year before. Because it's real. Come on.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's just it's a weird thing the way that you can get in and out of tournaments right now. It doesn't make sense. So they had to do something like this. But let's talk about these media voters, okay? Because we have some exclusive. They're going to announce this I think it might have already been announced, but like maybe a few hours before this podcast goes up, they gave it to us to talk about because I think this is interesting. Where I wanted to know what players didn't vote for Kristen Tatar, we actually get to see the media voters, and I believe we don't get to see who they vote for right now, but I think. Like me and you don't get to see that, but I think that will be known. I think they're going to announce who people voted for in the media. But today, I just wanted to talk about some of these people that have media votes. What are our thoughts on this? So here we go. First one, we have Grant Zellner. He's works for the PDGA. He's on the PDGA. He's on PDGA radio, and he works for the Disc Golf Network.
Never heard of him.
Do you think someone that works for the PDGA, though, should have a media vote? Would be my first question.
I told you that last week that I think that's who had the vote. Is the PDGA. And you're like, there's no way. I'm like, I bet you. I bet that's true.
Because when I hear like media votes for like NBA voting or media votes for like AP polls and stuff, I'm not thinking it's like the NBA employees or the NCAA employees. I'm thinking it's like people that are on ESPN that are like broadcasters or ESPN, journalists or people that have blogs, podcasts. Yeah. Like I'm thinking it's those people. Yeah. So, okay. So there's one right there. That's kind of weird. Then you have Jay Yeti Redding, Edge. If I know, I'm pretty sure Edge is like a charity.
It is. Yeah.
That's again, another kind of an interesting media vote. A little bit. I mean, now Jay Yeti Redding, it was a past professional on tour.
Yeah.
But if it was
he knows
someone
what's going on.
Correct. But if it was someone other than him that worked at Edge, that would be kind of weird.
Be wild.
It's just a charity.
Yep.
It's a disc golf charity.
Hey, maybe I get a vote next year with my charity.
Yeah. You got Bobby Cox, GK Pro, Disc Golf Pro Tour. So now you have someone that's producing disc golf film. Okay, so where I'm at right now, I'm 0 for 3. I'm 0 for 3 for actual media votes so far.
Tour Life should get a vote next year.
Let's keep going. Yeah, Silas, you need to be talking about you getting a vote, brother. I see how me and Uli shouldn't get votes, but Silas, you need to be saying you got someone that's filming and GK Pro getting a vote. Why isn't Silas?
Yeah, get me on there, man.
Yeah, get Silas on there. All right, you have Lauren Lakeberg, the disc golf photographer. The photographer.
Are you serious? He gets a vote?
What are we doing here?
I take some good photos, but damn.
What are we doing here? I think they're using the word media a little too loosely.
Wow.
And like who gets
the photographer gets a vote on who's player of the year?
We're 0 for 4. We're 0 for 4. Kimmo Turunen, Disc Golf Network. Is he on any shows that I don't watch or something? Does anyone have any idea who that person is? Like if he has like a podcast or something on the Disc Golf Network, I get that, but like I don't know who this person is. So Silas, can you do a Google search on this guy to see if it pops up on like what his position is at the Disc Golf Network is? Kimmo Turunen, and see if we can figure that out. All right, here we go. Number 1, we got our first one. Charlie Eisenhood, first media member, Ulti World Disc Golf, the Upshot commentator on Disc Golf Network. There we go. That one worthy.
Yep.
All right, these two people, I think these people do. No, these guys are just media people in the PDGA. I don't think they. Hayden Henry and Matthew Rothstein. So Matthew Rothstein, I believe, is that one of the guys that does kind of some of the interviews?
Yeah.
I think, right?
Think so.
He sometimes is on coverage. Again, kind of weird that they're PDGA employees, and even though they are media for the PDGA, they're still employees by the PDGA. So it's still kind of weird a little bit to me that they get votes. All right, UDisc. I love UDisc, but why is UDisc employees getting votes? You have Steve Hill and Josh Lichty both getting votes.
I mean, they see all the data. They see all the data. I'm taking them over the other guys. They see all the statistics.
No, I agree. I agree. I like them in the sense of like they probably have an idea of what's going on.
Yes.
But again, are we missing the idea of what a media vote really is? Like, are our stats guys getting media votes for the Heisman?
I don't know.
Like a guy that's just like doing statistics?
Maybe.
I don't think so, Uli. I
It's
could be wrong.
It's a maybe though.
I could be wrong.
I found what Kimmo does. He's
Kimmo.
On his Instagram it says he's the producer and manager of Pulse EA Disc Golf Media.
That's a disc golf company.
Yeah.
That's a training. Isn't that the training deal?
Yes, I think so.
That's all his Instagram says. That's it.
Okay, so he's a producer.
I think he might be a producer in Europe.
Oh,
Isn't
yes.
Pulsea from
You're
Finland?
probably right. He's probably on the European Disc Golf Network part.
Yep.
But again, behind the camera, right? Not an actual media person. Zoe Andike, Elaine King, both for the Disc Golf Network. I like these.
Mm-hmm.
I like these. Terry Miller, obviously, no brainer. Makes sense.
But Elaine King gets a media vote and she plays.
Does she still play?
She
Zoe plays more than Elaine.
It doesn't matter. They both play. That's sus.
Yeah, that is weird. If you're still playing on tour, you probably shouldn't get a vote at all. But yeah, I agree with you. Terry Miller, no brainer. Ken Climo, no brainer. Matt Graham on the Nick and Matt show, no brainer. Dion Arlen from Statmando.
He owns Statmando. I don't mind that.
A statistics guy. Oh yes, because Statmando. See, now they aren't just stats though.
Yeah, they do.
I guess
everything.
you could say that. I guess you could say the same thing with UDisc. So I stand corrected with UDisc because UDisc does blog. UDisc does make posts and stuff. So apologies to UDisc. I stand corrected. UDisc, Statmando. I think these make sense.
Yeah, I like that.
Philo. Is Philo on that gray area of still kind of playing,
still
or does he
sometimes? Yeah.
Okay. Then you got Matt Kruger, another UDisc guy. Keenan Dalton, Central Coast Disc Golf.
Must be a film guy.
I don't know his role.
Maybe a producer.
Yeah, kind of weird there. Evan Kern, Statmando, Nick and Matt show makes a lot of sense. Then you have Isaac Goldblatt, Disc Golf Pro Tour Gatekeeper Media. Again, it sounds like another producer, filmer person. Then you have Hunter and Trevor from Foundation, obviously makes sense. Mason Kizzer, the win read on.
How are our views compared to theirs on their shows?
Oh, we're the #1 disc golf podcast.
How are we not?
Don't say that in front of them. They get very, very.
How
very
are we
mad.
not getting any votes here?
Silas would be the only one that would be able to do it.
No, Elaine gets a vote.
There's no shot me and you should get. There's no shot me and you should get media votes.
I'm not. But if they're getting them, we should get them.
You're saying we should fight for it.
No, I'm saying that nobody who plays on tour should have a media vote.
Other people do.
I think I actually got one last year.
You got one, Silas?
I got one last year, not for this year, but yeah, they sent me one. I don't know why or how, but yeah.
Oh my god!
So maybe they cut down their people a ton, but
cut,
I don't know.
dude?
I don't know how I got one 2 years ago, but I did.
That's unbelievable.
Maybe they just have more people that are willing to do it now. So they're really like anyone that was in disc golf, they're just sending this out to be like, hey, please. And let's be fair. We're making a lot of fun of this. It is fun to make fun of, but I mean, this is a growing process, right? Like 5-10 years from now, do I think half of these people are going to be on this list? No, but you got to start somewhere. And at a certain point,
more. With the way things are going, more people.
No, I hope not. I hope there's more actual media around disc golf.
I'm surprised manufacturers aren't on here.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Yep.
This one makes sense. Like Mason Kizzer, it looks like he has some sort of show or something on the Disc Golf Network called The Win Read. So that makes sense. Lucas Miller, Green Splatter, they have a big blog on disc golf. Makes sense. Justin Westfall from Ultiworld, must be like some sort of journalist, writer. Makes sense. Dustin Moret from Disc Golf Network, Disc Golf Pro Tour, also on Debate Night. That makes sense. Ian Anderson, makes sense. He's a commentator. JVD, Smashbox, that makes sense. A little bit of a gray area, I get. No, not a gray area. No. I was going to say that's kind of a gray area like Violet, but different. And then you've got Valerie, Nathan Doss, Disc Golf Network. And then it looks like we have 2 of the European Disc Golf Network commentators, is what I'm assuming. Yanni Lancio and Esa-Pekka Tupala. I butchered those and I apologize. And then you have Josh Mansfield, who's also on the Upshot podcast. So some of these make a lot of sense. And then some of these do not make any sense at all. What are you doing research on?
I'm doing research. Just give me a second.
Okay. You let us know what comes back to us. But yeah, like, let me know if I'm completely wrong on this, guys. But to me, when I hear media, if I'm hearing it in like a general sense, like, hey, I work in media, that means that you could literally be like, you could be like a grip. You could be someone that's literally just running to get duct tape. You're running to get like snacks for the people on set. Yeah, you work in media. That makes sense if you say that. But when someone tells me, hey, we're getting media votes to vote on this specific thing in a sport, my mind now switches to like, now these are people that are journalists. These are people that cover the sport. They are actually the people in front of the camera or behind the pin, something along that nature. They are not like, oh, I am a manager of this disc golf company. I get a vote. Like that makes no sense to me. So I could be way off base, but I don't think I am.
Juliana Korver made the Pro Tour finals. She played in the Pro Tour finals, which means she had to have played enough to make it in the Pro Tour finals, which means she played a lot.
Are you talking about the Rookie of the Year?
No, I'm saying Juliana Korver this year played in the Tour Championships.
Why are you talking about Juliana Korver? She doesn't have a vote.
Oh, I thought you said she did.
No. Zoe Andike and Elaine King.
Oh, okay. My bad.
And Valerie Doss. Yeah, Juliana Korver would be really bad because she played
that's the one that
tour.
I thought that's what you said, but that was my mistake.
Yeah, no, because Elaine King. Okay, I think you were thinking Juliana Korver for Elaine King. Yeah, I don't think Elaine King has played in anything.
No. That's me.
I think Zoe I think Zoe might have also. I think honestly, Zoe and Philo, if you would have said this like last year, it might have been a little bit different. But like this year, I don't think those people played that much at all either.
No, me neither. No, I have no problems with those.
So yeah, I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
But I
I'm
knew
with you, like,
I thought it was Elaine, or I thought it was Juliana because she does the commentary, and then I got them mixed up, and I got a
like
tiny
Sexton
brain.
would be bad. Sexton would be bad, right? He commentates, but he plays a decent amount. Like he shouldn't have a media vote. Well, also he would be double dipping, right? He has a tour card.
Yeah,
he would have 2 votes in that situation. All right, this was a topic that you actually wanted to, you brought up, Uli. So I'm very interested in hearing this. Should pros have to pay to be on tour?
So what I mean by this is, should we have to pay, like every year we have to pay entry fees, right?
Mm-hmm.
You also have to get you have to pay like $1,000 for all the other stuff that comes with being on tour. I think you have to pay $1,000 just to pay for your entry fees.
So I just did this. I have the numbers right here.
I did it as well, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I have the numbers, so I can pull it up. Okay, so for 2024, to get your tour card, to get event registrations for all the events, because I signed up for pretty much everything, and then I also signed up for an additional European event, which wasn't included. The total came out to be just under $6,000.
Yeah. So here's my point. In other sports, do you have to pay to get a PGA Tour card?
So you pay a locker room fee.
Yep.
So every
do you
event
pay to get in the tournament?
No.
Does anybody? Does your sponsor?
Now, you might have to pay to try to qualify. So I think the qualifying.
But if you get your tour card,
correct.
You don't pay.
Correct.
If I'm not mistaken.
Sponsors aren't paying either. It's the same question is LeBron James paying to play in an NBA game?
Right.
No.
Right.
It's that same.
Yeah. We're getting to the point.
Lamar Jackson paying to play in the NFL? No.
We're getting to the point, I believe, where we should not have to pay if you go on tour, because
I disagree a little bit. I think you shouldn't have to pay if you have a tour card.
You should. Exactly. Yes. That's what I'm saying. If you get your tour card.
Tour cards don't fill up entire tournaments though.
No.
So there are going to be people that are in tournaments that don't have tour
that. Exactly. I'm getting to that. Yeah. Yes. If you have a tour card, you shouldn't have to pay to play on the tour. I don't think.
Ideally, yes. Ideally. 100%.
Ideally.
Yes.
And I know we're not to that point yet, but when do we get to that point?
That is the question, right?
Exactly.
Because
I get it right now. We got to pay to keep the tour going. It's not even close. I got it. Whatever.
We are still betting. At the end of the day, we're still going over to Jimmy's house at 5 o'clock. His mom's making pizza rolls. We all throw $5 in the pot, and we're playing winner take all. That we're still doing that, right? If you look at the breakdowns, and when people are like, and this is why I have my biggest issue with like equal payouts right now between MPO and FPO. Aside from the fact that MPO draws in way more viewers than FPO, and I'll have that argument to anyone. If anyone wants to say that, just literally look at the numbers. It is true. MPO brings more value to the tour than FPO does right now.
I want to keep on my thought though, because it doesn't stop with just should we.
Okay. To finish this though, the last thing I was just gonna say is if you took out the the entry fees to these tournaments, like the prizes, the prize money for these tournaments go down. So I mean, it's literally almost 50% at most of these tournaments.
So how much do you think for the whole year? Is it $500,000?
Well, let's think. Let's do the numbers. So what?
Let's say 85. No, it's
got to be more than that. It's got to be more than that, right?
That's how many people have tour cards?
No. I'm saying, wait, are you saying how much? I'm saying how much money goes in to the tour based off event.
How much money do they have to come up with for it not to matter? And the tour people who earn their tour card.
Well, just to do a couple calculations real quick, right? So you have me pull my calculator out real quick. Where the flip is my calculator? Calculator. Okay. So you have roughly, I would say, what's like the average, like 275 is like the average entry fee cost, right?
Yeah.
Roughly around there.
Well, just put
somewhere.
$6,000 for everybody. If all tour card holders do the whole tour, put $6,000, 85 people.
Okay, and just see what that is.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was gonna say not everyone has a tour card that plays.
But that's how many tour cards they get.
Yeah, so that's $510,000.
$510,000. Sure.
Then I would say you'd probably have to at least add an extra 250 to all the people that are signing up that don't have tour cards. Now they're not paying for the
don't care about
tour card
them.
amenities. Oh, you don't care about those people.
Don't care.
Okay.
I care about the tour card people who earn their spot to be on the tour.
So if that was the case, if we switched to where we're like, hey, the only people playing in events are tour card holders. Well, they would have to make up more than that too. They would probably have to make up like $750,000.
Okay, let's say $750,000
for the payouts to remain the same.
Yep. And this is where it comes down to. My only point is, the question is, at what point does this happen? And it's sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
So who's getting our sponsorship from other places? And it's got to be so difficult to find somebody to get $500,000 to sponsor a tour, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's a fantastic question. It really is.
That's all I'm wondering. At what point does it get tip, and all of a sudden tour means, like for example, I'm just gonna say this. I know I've talked to players this year who are having a hard time finding sponsors to pay for their entry fees, who have tour cards, which means they cannot afford to even go on tour.
Mm-hmm.
Getting on tour doesn't mean at all that even if you play good, you're going to make money. Even if you play good, you're going to make money. You're going to lose money probably.
It's the same as a lot of these individual sports, yes.
Exactly. But it should be an opportunity if you're the best in the world and you're giving up the rights that you give up to the media and to the tour because you're signing over your likeness. What's the value in that? Right now, I'm paying, for example, to sign over my likeness to the Pro Tour. Correct? I'm actually paying to do that.
Yes.
That's kind of crazy to me. To have an opportunity to make money, I'm going to sign over the rights of my likeness to the Pro Tour. Now a new kid comes in and makes the tour. Can't even afford to play on the tour. He can't even afford to get in. The opportunity isn't there, and it's sad to me. And so what I'm proposing is there should be a push to get whatever sponsorship we need to get to make sure that we're giving everybody their equal opportunity to play on the tour, and for it to be like, I just can't imagine. Listen, imagine you paying somebody to give away your likeness, Brodie, in something else.
You kind of, okay, so this is where it's like, it makes sense when the money is right? So if we were talking about one of the big four sports, it wouldn't even be a question.
Yep.
Because you're like, I'm getting so much in return. This is where it is a very interesting very interesting conversation, because
full disclosure for everybody listening, this is not a complaint. I am a forward thinker.
People are going to think you're complaining. For
sure. Well, there's always going to be that. I'm forward thinking. I want to get to this point, and how do we do it? Because if we get to this point, the sport's in a better place. So I want people to realize where I'm coming from, right? I don't want them to just say, "Oh, there goes Uli wanting to play on country clubs every single day," and Mr. Privilege. No, that's not where I'm coming from. My thought process is always, how do we get to a better place? And if we get there, when we get there, the sport's going to be in a better place.
I love this conversation though, because it is such a thought-provoking one of where,
Yes.
like, where do we
gets you
go?
going. It gets you going.
Because I don't even know, Uli, if us like following golf's model, because golf right now is in a weird
100%.
spot with live,
100%.
right? So this idea of like, hey, because I've always said that, like, hey, we should just follow what golf is doing, but now golf is having some issues. So this is my thought. You've got several ways of going about it, right? Because we cannot compare ourselves. We cannot.
They're paying live players loads of money to play and to take their likeness, by the way.
Yeah.
Insane amounts of money.
It's also like it's not like, I mean, you're paying John Rahm $600 million or whatever to play in front of 400 people. It's not.
I know.
It doesn't make any sense. They're willing to lose money. So that's not really a great example, but we're not going to look at the top 4 sports. We're not, right? Because like those are team sports, a little bit different. So I like looking at kind of more of an individual sports. So those sports you got are golf, tennis, and then the other one that's kind of, here we go. The other one that's somewhat interesting is like is racing, NASCAR or Formula One. So we can go the route of like Formula One, of where like, what if the tour, instead of having 120 person fields, like what if the tour was 20 people?
Yep.
Because at a certain point, the value of certain people on tour is zero. I hate to say it, but it is. Like there are certain people on tour that are playing that brings zero value to the tour. And
no,
like
they bring value. They bring an entry fee.
That's their only value. Yes. My example for this in golf is the 44th person on the money list from last year. He won $4,150,000 playing golf on the PGA Tour. His name, Chris Kirk. Is anyone showing up to a PGA Tour event that isn't related, married, or friends with Chris Kirk to watch Chris Kirk?
Yes. Yes.
What?
Absolutely.
What? No.
Yeah, because
no,
because he's probably playing with somebody else who's good.
No, that wasn't
you're
the
probably
question.
sitting on a hole and you're gambling on the guys coming in who's going to hit the green or not.
The question was,
I know, I'm being goofy.
The question was more like, if it's Wednesday and you're questioning whether or not you're going to buy tickets to go watch golf on Thursday, if Chris Kirk tweets out, "Hey guys, can't play, I'm out," is that changing that person? I'm not going anymore. What the heck?
I think so, because, for example, do you think Andrew Presnell brings people to watch him play? Do you think he has diehard fans that will want to go watch him?
Are we okay, I don't really want to do the name game because it is very sad. Like it is, I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I would say in certain areas,
because I think so.
I would say in certain areas, maybe. Is it a monumental number? No. And I mean, that's just the truth of what it is. Like if Andrew Presnell starts dominating and winning a bunch, then maybe it changes a little bit. But there's a lot. I mean, even myself, who I would consider probably has some of the most like paid attention to social media in the disc golf world. Like even some tournaments I go to, if I'm not in the top whatever, there's not that many people watching me.
Come on.
There's not that many people.
There's only a few groups out there that go out and they always have people following them. And you're one of those groups.
I know, but I'm saying is like, even me being one of those groups, I still don't have a monumental number at certain tournaments of where you're like, hey, if Brodie wasn't at this tournament, this would be bad. And I'm one of the upper echelon people. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think it would be bad. Over the course of a season, you're selling, I would have to say, minimum 100 tickets. And they need that money.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the number is, but my point is like someone with my social media, if I'm only moving that much, what is someone that's roughly around my skill level on tour that doesn't have nearly the social media I have. And that's where it becomes the question of like, how do you want to address disc golf? Do you want to address it to where, you know, if this big sponsorship money came in, let's say, do you want to say like, hey, we're just going to have our tour be really freaking hard to play on. And every single week, you're going to see the best 30 players in the world show up to the course and play. Is that how disc golf should go? Or should it stay with the 120 people are in the field? Like, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but it is fascinating to talk about and to speculate what should happen.
Yeah.
Because and this is where golf is causing a lot of issues, is you have a lot of these guys like Brendan. I'm just literally listing off people that made millions of dollars in the PGA Tour this year. Brendan Todd, Samus Power, Lee
See, I know
Hodges.
all these guys. I'm a diehard golf fan. I know all these guys.
You are a diehard golf fan, sure. But the diehard golf fan isn't what really brings in the money for golf.
But you take that one guy and you take him off that tour and put him in a smaller tournament, all kinds of people are going to go watch that one guy. But when you're putting him up against the best players on the planet on the PGA Tour, of course he's going to be lost in the shuffle. But he's still an important key part of the tour, because if you took him and you go, okay, now play over here in Rock Hill, South Carolina at this country club, you'd have a lot of people only come out to watch him.
I think that's certain people, Uli. I think certain people like I don't remember exactly what Johnny Manziel did. Did he go play Canadian football?
He played in the XFL, I think. Is that what it was called? The XFL? Is the arena football?
Size, can you look up Johnny Manziel for me and see what his career path was? Because I think, Uli, certain people, it makes sense. If you decided, hey, I'm not playing on the Disc Golf Pro Tour this year, I'm going to play on this smaller tour, I think you would be able to attract others to that. But if you have just like someone that's like a top 40 in the world, but doesn't have that big of a following, if they went, even though it would be like a huge thing to have that person playing there, I don't think it moves the needle, man. You see it in other sports of where great NBA players go and play in different markets. And maybe in that market, it increases viewership a little bit. But over here, we don't care, because it's like, if you're not in the NBA, like the casual person, which in sports, you should always be working towards the casual fan. Because the hardo fans are always going to be around no matter what. We're sickos, right? Like, no matter how bad a sport is, as far as like how they treat their fans, how the production is, we're sickos. We're going to be paying attention. It's the casual fan that you should be really trying to get. And that's where it's like, I don't think the casual fan cares if that happens.
Johnny Manziel, he played for the Cleveland Browns 2014 to 15, and then the Hamilton Tiger Cats 2018, which I believe is the CFL, Canadian Football League.
Okay.
Then to the Montreal Alouettes. And then
another Canadian football team.
And then this Memphis Express, some other like football league, like XFL or Arena, something like that. And then FCF Zappers. So, yeah.
Oh, that's some weird thing that just happened with Bomb Memory. Okay. So that's my point, is like Johnny Manziel, potentially the biggest name ever to come out of college football. I think Tebow might be kind of close there, but like Johnny Football was one of the biggest things ever in college football. So someone like that, him going, I think he would be able to draw some people. But let's say you're the seventh picked quarterback out of the NFL, and you don't turn out to be anything your first 2 seasons in the NFL, and you go to like a Canadian football league. Are you getting random people to show up to watch you? Maybe a little bit in that market to begin with, but that's not making national news. That's not really moving the needle. And that's kind of my point, is like the needle movers in disc golf and people, this is not me talking about myself, but because I don't think I should be really like, I don't think if they did decide to do a top 30, I don't think I should actually be in that top 30.
Same.
Based off of just, oh, you have a big social media. I think I need to earn that. My point is really for like the Simon Lizotte, the Eagle McMahon, the Paul Macbeth, the Ricky Calvin, these guys that are really freaking good at disc golf, but also have a big fan base. To me, those guys should be the ones that are reaping the most benefits at these tournaments.
Yep.
And getting paid more than the person that came in 47th place.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are gonna be like, well, the person that came in 47th place, they need that $300 to stay on tour. And it's like, is that what's the best thing though? That's where I don't know. Is that what's best for disc golf moving forward, is trying to do stuff to keep the 47th best player on tour? I don't know. It's
Well,
tough,
it's got to
but
be
I
a
love
place.
this conversation.
It's got to be a place. The tour always has to be a place for opportunity for whoever it is. So you can't, I don't think you can put 30 people. It's got to be a place for.
But why can't you do that? Why can't you have another tour that's underneath it, and the bottom 3 guys every year from tour drop down, similar to what they do in soccer? They drop down, and then the top 3 guys on this other tour move up. So there's always opportunity to move up the ladder based off of your play.
Well, then you never have like storybook finishes like a Parker Welk, and there's
yes, that goes away.
And that's like what we love about sports is we love seeing
Cinderella
those things.
stories.
Cinderella story. The guy who's like, who is that guy? And he's up there competing with Paul Macbeth, and he takes Calvin down the stretch and makes a 50-footer on the last hole, and then just parks the island. I mean, that was a beautiful story and crazy when nobody ever saw it coming. And to lose
I agree with you on that.
and to lose that would be just super tough. I think it needs to be a place where, this is all I'm saying. Right now, it's still a place of opportunity, but it's costing these kids money to go out and play on tour right now. It costs them a lot of money. And even if they play good, let's say they play pretty good and they cash at every single event, they're losing money.
I know, but this is where I kind of disagree a little bit with you on that, because this is what's causing right now the biggest like conflict in the PGA Tour. Is you have these guys, middle of the road guys, that do not move the needle. If they show up to a tournament or do not show up to a tournament, it does not change attendance noticeable. You can't tell. And you have these guys fighting for like rights that they really shouldn't have. Yeah. And my whole thing is like, my skill level where I am right now on the Disc Golf Pro Tour, if I just completely deleted all my social media, didn't post ever, didn't have this podcast, didn't do anything, my value to the Disc Golf Pro Tour would be almost zero. I would have an almost zero value. So anything that I got from the Disc Golf Pro Tour, I would be very happy. Like anything that I did, but I shouldn't be demanding certain things. And that's where the PGA Tour is kind of at this conflict, is you have people that have been benefiting off of the Tiger, the Rory, Jordan Spieth. They've been benefiting off of these guys' popularity and these prize purses without really adding much to the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
See, I'm not talking about them getting money, Brodie. I'm not talking about them not paying. I'm talking about not paying to have to be on tour. That's a minimum.
Yeah, no,
I completely agree with everything you
Yeah.
say, but my original question is, at what point does the player not have to pay to be on tour? Because I really feel like it's already tough. Like on the PGA Tour, the opportunity is crazy because you make one cut and you make 40 grand. You make 150 grand, one cut. And that pays for your season, right? One cut pays for your season. One cut on the Disc Golf Pro Tour does nothing. It's $2,000. Let's say if you play amazing, you get $2 grand.
Yeah.
That's not paying for your tour card, man. There's no opportunity there to pay for your opportunity. Really is to be able to be like, hey, I want to go to the Fly Mart and sell all my discs that I have. Like that's more opportunity.
This is the scale, because this is what like disc golf does right now, of where they're like, hey, first place got 20% more money this year than last year. We're doing great things. And
Yeah.
it's like, well, yeah, if first place got $1,000 last year and this year they got $1,200, no. Saying yes, the first place prize went up 20% sounds a lot better than it went from 1,000 to 1,200 in a year. But if the prize was $1 million and it went up 20% to 1.2 million, now all of a sudden that's big. So like it's all scale based, right? Like we're in the mode right now to where making a cut, actually you could lose money. And I think a majority of people on tour lose money if they just make a cut, right? Unless you're living out of your van and like have your expenses super, super low.
But you still you have to break even.
Money.
Let's say you play the whole tour. In order to break even, what's the minimum you would have to do? You'd probably have to average like 20th place.
Are we counting in though all the like hotels, Airbnb,
no, I'm just saying.
gas?
I'm just saying them saying. I'm saying this.
Just the $6,000 that I said.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I'm basing it off of this because I know we shouldn't have to pay, and I know that's not possible, and I'm not complaining about it. I'm saying, when do we get to the point where signing over your likeness means something? And you can piggyback off of the Paul Macbeths and stuff like other people do in other sports because that's the way that it works. Guess what? Patrick Mahomes makes everybody more money. That's the way sports works.
We can't be demanding. What I'm saying is
I'm not saying give me more salary, give me more of this. I'm saying let me have the opportunity to play for free in these tournaments. That's it, minimum. Just like every sport in the world. You get what I'm saying? Minimum.
Yeah.
Let me have my tour card. I earned it. I don't have to pay for my tour card. When do we get to that point?
All right. So I cranked the numbers. $6,000 divided by, I played about 23 events, but that sounds about right, of like what $6,000 is going to get you is going to be about 20 to 25 events, something like that. That's $260 a tournament. And I'm looking here if I never made that little. The lowest I made was, I mean, I guess you would have to finish a decent amount at some of these tournaments. So I think I got made last cash at the Open at Austin, which was split with a bunch of people, I believe. And so I made $50. So I think
nice.
But I think like I have some like 30 place finishes at silver events where I made 365, 350 at another silver event for 39th place. The major 42nd at European Open was 457. So I think if you cash at every event, now granted, if there's no ties, right? If you cash at every event, I think you would make money if your only expenses were registration, entry fees.
No, but that's not my whole point. My whole entire point is, at what point does being on tour and having your tour card, you own a tour card, at what point do you not have to pay for that? Because like I said,
it's a how much money is coming into the sport question. That's definitely what it is.
Yes.
It's something that here's the thing. Your question is really good to keep in the back of your mind, because we don't want to get into a point of where it's like, hey, we shouldn't be paying for this anymore. Like the money is there and we still are paying for it. And the Disc Golf Pro Tour is just moving money different spots.
Yes.
And because they're like, oh, well, they're still paying for it, so we can still move this $500,000 or $750,000 other. So your question is great for us to keep in mind at, because I don't think we're close to it now. I don't think we're
we're light years away, I feel like, right now.
But if we don't think about that, at a certain point, like players could be paying when they shouldn't be, right? So it is a fantastic question, and hopefully a lot of discussion in the comments. I'm very interested to come back and read some of the comments on the YouTube video about that, because that is a fun topic to talk about. All right, we're gonna roll through. How are you doing on time, by the way?
I need to go ish. I got time, but I'm asking I'm supposed to go film here in a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna roll through. These aren't really discussion topics, so I'm gonna roll through these, and then we'll do the Sporcle, and then you can bounce, and I'll answer the listener questions, and we should be good. All right. So
Dude,
we
wait,
have
before we go, last thing. Do you think it is weird that we pay to give our likeness away?
we're paying.
You get what I'm saying?
This is like what Kelsey almost went into a scam situation. It's not really a scam, but it is kind of a scam of where you pay you pay this agency to be your agent, and they're going to be like, oh, we're going to get you so many deals, like we're going to get you on commercials, we're going to get you a magazine. All you have to do is pay this money. You'll take these courses, get you all ready, and then you're going to start killing it. That's kind of what this is a little bit.
Yeah.
Of
No,
where
I get that. Yeah.
we're paying with
For the opportunity.
idea that, like, yeah, if we have an Isaac Robinson
Yes.
season next
Yes.
year, now all of a sudden we can have a 6-figure contract with sponsors and all this other stuff,
100%.
and it's great.
It's worth it. It's worth
But
it.
it's
It
not,
really is.
but it's not guaranteed. Right? There's a lot of people going to that door thinking, I'm going to be the next big movie star. I'm going to be the next big thing.
Yeah.
And they just paid $5,000 for nothing. So,
But that's my other
there's a little
point is
about
we've
that.
already made it. We've already made it to the
It's
top.
weird for the already made it people. Yes.
No, I mean the whole thing. If you get your tour card in our sport as we sit, you've made it. You're the best of the best.
Disagree.
You're the best of the best on the planet. Are you not?
Yes, but even
No.
80th
Whatever you say after this, it doesn't matter because where we are.
It does matter. No, it does matter because
because it goes to the
80th
original question. At what point does it
does
change?
matter. No, it does matter because the 80th person in the world in the NFL, the 80th best player in the NFL is not equivalent to the 80th best player in the PGA Tour. They're not. And then even more so, the 80th best player in the Disc Golf Pro Tour is not equivalent to the PGA Tour guy. Like, we're even farther down. So, like, there is.
At what point is it? That's my question. Of course, it's not right now. But as we sit,
I don't think the 80th person in the Disc Golf Pro Tour will ever bring value to the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Because they don't in the PGA Tour, and the PGA Tour is light years ahead. And we're a subset of golf. Like, it's very hard for me to ever think of a time where pickleball is bigger than tennis. Like, a subset sport, correct me if I'm wrong, has a subset sport ever overtaken the sport that it was created off of? That's a fascinating question.
I would have to say yes.
You think so?
Yeah. I'd have to say yes. Pickleball's got a pretty damn good chance, I'll tell you that much.
No, I don't think so.
It's blowing up, bro.
No, I don't think so at all.
No, it's not.
I think
even
what you're
close.
saying, like, is blowing up compared to like how big tennis is.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's ridiculous.
It's not even near.
No, there's a tennis court in every single park around everywhere.
I mean, how many people are tuning in to watch pickleball versus tuning in to watch
I completely
Wimbledon?
agree. I don't see that happening.
So that's my thing, is like, if you're a subset sport, if you're a sport that was created off of something else, it seems almost impossible in our lifetime, at least, for that sport to ever overtake. So that's what I was saying, is like, I don't see the 80th person.
No, but I don't think you even understand the question, Brodie. Like, this is where it goes.
Boxing it?
Where is the place you have to get to?
We need more money, Uli. We need a lot more money and a lot more people watching.
Where's the place you have to get to? You have to get to in our sport. What's the top of the top? It's the Pro Tour, period. So if you make it to the Pro Tour, and I'm saying get your tour card, you have to accomplish that for the next season. You've made it. You've done what you need to do.
You shouldn't have to pay to play in tournaments. I agree with you on that.
That's it.
That's the only thing that's the only thing that you get. I agree with you on that.
Yes, I don't think you get any privilege. You don't get anything, but you
don't get guaranteed $200,000 that you're going to make. No, you don't get any of that. Correct.
Nothing. All right.
Okay. All right. I agree with you. All right. AirBaltic to corporate. AirBaltic to cooperate. Why did I say corporate? To cooperate with the disc golf park in Meza Parks. The Latvian national airline AirBaltic has announced that in collaboration with the company UFO Golf, the disc golf park in Meza Parks, Riga, Latvia, from now on will carry the name AirBaltic. So this was posted on AirBaltic's website, this collaboration that they're doing.
Ice bath, love that.
Yeah, they said disc golf, also known as frisbee golf, has become one of the fastest growing sports in the world, particularly in countries like Estonia, Finland, and Sweden. It is a great outdoor activity for the whole family that can be enjoyed throughout the year. In order to promote this accessibility and exciting outdoor activity and attract Scandinavian travelers to Riga, AirBaltic has decided to partner with the largest disc golf park in Riga, located in Meza Parks area. The park, situated in the beautiful and peaceful surroundings of Riga among a pine tree forest, offers a unique opportunity to spend hours in a natural and healthy environment. Furthermore, the presence of pine trees creates natural obstacles that add an extra layer of challenge and strategy to the game. In line with AirBaltic's ongoing commitment to its loyal customers and its goal to attract new loyalty program members, AirBaltic club members will enjoy special privileges at this new facility. While everyone is welcome to play for a fee, AirBaltic club members are entitled to one free game per month. Moreover, the offer includes unlimited free access for VIP and executive members, as well as Plainies NFT holders. Marius Rudens, who's the head of loyalty and partnerships at AirBaltic, continued by saying, the launch of the AirBaltic Disc Golf Park reflects our dedication to offering varied and engaging experiences to our loyalty program members. AirBaltic advocates for quality and meaningful leisure time that unites. Thus, we are excited to provide a space where sports enthusiasts and families can come together and enjoy the growing popularity of disc golf. This is dope.
That's so
this
cool.
is like over here. This might not seem like that big of a story, but like this is like American Airlines saying, hey, we are now turning, let's say like Idlewild. Idlewild is no longer going to be called Idlewild Park. It's going to be called American Airlines Park. And they're putting resources in. They're putting, I mean, this was a press release that they posted. Like this is awesome. This is so really, really dope. And we were just kind of talking like the end all be all is the Disc Golf Pro Tour. It might not be that way forever. No. The European markets, it might be like, there might be a flip flop at some point, Uli.
To where we're
no longer playing over here. We're playing over there because it's way bigger, similar to like football.
Yep.
So that very, very cool. Let me know if anyone listening has played that course before.
That sounds awesome, man.
That'd be very sweet. All right, a couple wild stories. I'm actually just gonna do one, and I'll save the other two for tomorrow since you are in a little bit of a time crunch. So this one is this one starts off saying, I travel for work and I hit up courses along the way. Makes it hard to get disc back to people. Found a nice KT Pure on a course in the middle of nowhere, Texas. Texted the number and didn't get a reply immediately. Headed down the road and stopped at a restaurant. As I sat down, I get a text back, but I'm about 45 minutes away by then. She tells me she's actually from San Angelo, but her boyfriend works in town where I am currently dining. I ask her if I can drop it off. She says he's bartending. And guess where? At the restaurant I'm sitting in. I walk over to the bar after going to the car to retrieve the disc and hand it to him. Told him the story. He laughs and pours me a beer, and we talk a disc golf for a bit.
How funny.
That's like
Small
the
world.
best. Yeah, that's like the best case scenario too.
I
Like,
know.
you're like, oh, they're literally right here. I can just drop this off to you. Very nice. All right, player movement. Oh, I do have a rumor.
Ooh.
Sorry. First one, not a rumor. Chandler Kramer posted on his Instagram this week saying, I want to say thank you to Lone Star for the last 2 years. I still remember the first time I sat down and talked with Terry Dillard about my goals in disc golf and how I wanted to help grow Lone Star to try and make it one of the biggest disc manufacturing brands in the sport. I appreciate the opportunity and support Lone Star gave me to allow myself to get my name out there on the Pro Tour as well as the entire disc golf community. Going into 2024, I will not be returning to Lone Star. Thank you to everyone that has supported me through my career so far. It means a lot. Where do you think I'll go? Who do you think should pick me up? Let me know in the comments. Okay. So this was posted. Then also, I kind of forgot his name already. Hofstra, Jeff Hofstra. Is that his name? Silas, is that his name? Jeff Hofstra, the Lone Star guy?
Must be media vote. He has
We
one.
were just, I think he used to work in the media. He also posted on his social media. This is from Hunter on Grip Locked. He also posted that he's like departing too, but doesn't really have, like, basically saying like, hey, if anyone knows of anyone looking for a marketing person, let me know. So these two both happen kind of close together. Then you also have jokes about like Robert Burridge leaving. Like I saw a tweet where it was that guy, like the NFL, it was a GIF of where the NFL guy's like trying to swipe in to go into like the team headquarters, and his card doesn't work because he got nixed, and like he didn't know that. Like he's realizing. So they're like Robert Burridge like trying to go to Lone Star on Monday. So like there's somewhat rumors. Hunter also alluded to somewhere like in his brain, he's like, I think Robert Burridge is leaving Lone Star too. So two of their big signs, I would say, in the offseason, Robert Burridge, Chandler Kramer. We don't know what the heck is going on with Nico with that weird contract thing that he did. And then you have the marketing guy leave without really having an idea.
I heard a
of where
rumor
they're
about
going.
Emerson being gone too.
We also talked about that rumor of Emerson maybe going somewhere as well. So a big shift, it seems like, is happening kind of over on Lone Star. I do like Chandler being like, hey, where do you guys think I should go? As if like it's like he should have said like, whatever comment gets the most likes, that's what diss I'll throw next year. That would have been very fascinating to see what would have happened. Anything on this?
No, I think Chandler is one of the most mind-blowing players I watch every single weekend. I mean, the fact that he can get around a course with just the sidearm is crazy out there. And it's not like he throws it 700 feet.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. The fact that he competes well on tour is absolutely fascinating to me.
Yeah, there's definitely certain courses where like I'll play, like some of the newer courses that we'll play on tour, I'll play and be like, oh my God, Chandler's gonna this is gonna suck for him. And then he'll like get top 20.
And you see him like get like 7 in a row and you're like, how?
I don't know. He's crazy. You've got Nico also. I just got word Nico just posted on his Instagram a mystery box that has some Lone Star in it. What does that mean? I don't know. I don't know what that. I don't know that doesn't really tell me anything. That doesn't necessarily mean that he's staying. That doesn't necessarily mean he's leaving.
Seems like a ploy.
Yeah, I think Nico's playing with us, and I like it. Oh, yeah, sorry. Phone too close to the mic. All right. This week in Foundation Disc Golf, big story. Trevor, for whatever reason, decided to throw the idea of, they did a video, Uli. If he did not complete the task, he was going to do a 24-hour live stream. He did not complete the task. So this Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, Trevor Staub on this channel, on the Foundation Podcast channel, will be going live for 24 hours straight playing Minecraft.
That sounds horrible. What was the task? Or do you got to watch the video?
It was him. It was him, Hunter, and was it Connor or was it you, Silas? Playing triples. It was Connor. Okay, so it was those three playing triples, and I think they set a line to try to get to. He incentivized Hunter and Connor with like rewards. Like I think he was going to buy Connor a knife and then was going to give a gift card to Chick-fil-A for Hunter if they got it. So that way they wouldn't like actually, throw it to make him do the live stream. So yeah, very interesting stuff over there. Tune in. I will be potentially joining the server as well. to maybe cause some havoc during his live stream, which I highly recommend for anyone out there listening. The more havoc we can cause. It also seems like too he's gonna have something set up to where like a certain amount of donations, a certain cost, because some of the donations that he gets will be going to charity, a percentage of them. You can donate to basically make him have to reset his progress. And also, I am going to put an award out. I said on the off season, which you might be listening to after or before this, I said 35,000 subscribers because I think we're like 2,000, 2,500 subscribers away from 35 on this channel. That might change because I don't know how many subscribers are going to happen between the recording of this and Thursday. I will set a number before he goes live. If that number is reached, he will win a cash prize from me. So it'll probably be $250. So he'll win $250 if that many subscribers are on the channel at the end. So tune in, support him. Uli, do you have time for a Sporcle?
I do.
Let's freaking go. All right. If you're listening to this, I think this is one that you can join along with, but the visual of this is going to be really fun. Uli, today, the Sporcle of the day, we are going to be trying to do our best at selecting every state in the United States that has 100 courses or more.
Okay.
We have the number. So Silas, if you pull this up, we have the number. There's 29. We only have 4 minutes. There's 29. I think for this to make sense for us, Uli, I think we can only have 3 X's. Or else we could literally just, go really fast, right?
Yeah.
So we got to work together. I think we go back and forth. Or let's work together. Let's agree on it before Silas clicks on the state. And let's see how many we can get before we get 3 X's.
Okay.
All right. Silas,
I'm going to start off with a sketchy one.
I don't like that idea. Silas,
it's not a sketchy one.
Final. We'll say final, and that lets you know to click the state.
Okay. All right.
How good are you at geography?
Yeah, I was gonna say we might have a few that.
Do you want to pull up a U.S. map next to you just so in case we say something you're not having to try to search?
That's a great idea.
Let's pull up a U.S. map next to it just in case.
All right, we'll do the easy ones first.
Yes,
we're gonna
obviously.
go. Yeah,
wait, we haven't started yet.
We
haven't started yet. Hold on.
Yeah,
we got to get Silas to have an actual map so that way.
I don't want to misclick.
Yeah, you click if we say Wyoming and you click Nebraska, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah. I that's fair. All right, we ready?
Let us know when you're ready to go.
Okay, I'm going to
click the play.
Here we go.
Play quiz.
All right,
timer start. Okay, Uli, go.
We're going Florida, Texas, and then
Florida
California.
Final. Yeah, Florida for sure. Texas.
Yeah.
California. Yep.
Washington, Oregon.
No, North Carolina. Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Washington.
You think Washington?
For sure, Washington.
Wait,
and
what about where Terry is? Terry's got tons of courses there. What is that? Is that Iowa or Wisconsin?
Go Oregon first.
Oregon?
Okay, Oregon.
Is that final?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, do final. Okay.
No, I'm good at this.
How many was that?
That's 6. 6.
Okay.
Okay, Wisconsin.
Oh gosh.
Okay, Wisconsin's the one, yeah. Oh, how are we thinking about Michigan?
Minnesota, Michigan.
Yeah. All right,
Michigan. Okay, Minnesota, Michigan. Yes. Minnesota. Should we stick in that Midwest for a little bit? Should we do like Illinois?
Well, put South Carolina in there, that's for sure.
Okay.
South Carolina's a good one. Do we like Illinois?
Well, we like Massachusetts.
Ooh.
Massachusetts.
It's the one that looks like a boot.
No.
Yep.
Up northeast. No, that's Virginia. It looks like a
Virginia's
boot
good.
Northeast.
Hit Virginia.
Hit Virginia.
Okay,
You're already
right,
on Virginia. Hit Virginia. Okay, northeast. Looks like a boot. Keep going up.
Oh, this
out
one.
Of time because of him.
No! Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Silas, you have a U.S. map next to you.
I know.
It's the boot. That doesn't count. We would never select Vermont.
This one.
That doesn't count.
No, okay, that one's wrong. Not Massachusetts.
That was an X anyways. Okay, we have one X. Let's go Midwest. Let's go Illinois.
Right. Yep.
Okay. Illinois.
Let's go
Iowa.
Ohio. I like Ohio more than Indiana.
Ohio.
Okay. Right?
Yeah,
Indiana.
Indiana.
We got
for
2
sure.
minutes.
Yeah, just Indiana. Give us Indiana. I think we go all Midwest right now. Indiana.
Yep.
There's so many courses. All right, do we go Iowa? I think we go
Yes,
Iowa.
Iowa for sure.
Okay.
What about Kansas?
Yes.
They have Emporia. They have
Yes.
all those courses.
Emporia
Kansas?
Emporia yes, at Kansas. Hit it.
Kansas. Yeah. Okay.
Arizona. That's a tough one,
think?
but I wanted.
Oh, no.
95.
I didn't like Arizona.
So close.
Let's do like Tennessee. Tennessee.
Oh yeah, Tennessee.
Chris Dickerson plays all those wooded courses in
yeah,
Tennessee.
Tennessee,
Yeah,
that's
so
good.
many wooded courses. Missouri, do we play?
Yes, for
Missouri,
sure.
yep.
A
Do
billion.
Missouri. Okay.
8 left.
Gosh.
Alabama.
Alabama?
I like
Yeah.
Georgia more, but
Georgia.
okay, go for it.
Hit Georgia.
Georgia.
Georgia?
Do Georgia. See what
Yeah.
the number is, Georgia. 173?
Alabama?
like Bama?
Bama.
Okay,
All
go
right.
Bama.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, honestly, I think we go Oklahoma.
6 left.
It's just north
Okay,
of Texas.
Oklahoma.
You've got
Hit it, hit it,
freaking
hit it,
those
hit it,
guys
hit it.
playing so many courses up
Yep.
there.
Boom.
Oh no.
Just give us Louisiana.
New York.
Louisiana.
no
No!
I don't think there's any courses
New
in
York?
New York. No chance.
Really?
No courses up there. Yeah, there's no courses up there. Go ahead and click it.
Did we already?
Hey!
Ah!
3
We already
left.
hit 3. All right, let's just try to get it. I mean, I guess go Pennsylvania.
Yes, for sure. Pennsylvania. That's good.
Pennsylvania.
It's big.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I guess just go like Kentucky, West
Yeah,
Virginia,
that's
might as
easy.
well.
West Virginia for
that-
sure. Kentucky for
In
sure.
that spot.
Oh, West Virginia.
Oh, West Virginia was no. Okay,
Nope.
which ones were it? Colorado, Idaho,
Nebraska.
Nebraska,
Arkansas. Mississippi.
Which one has the least? Were you able to see that or no? I guess you have
Probably
to select
Dakotas.
it to see it. Probably Vermont, the freaking one that
Vermont.
Silas clicked thinking it was
Yeah.
Massachusetts.
Hey, that was a misclick.
What about
that was a
Maine?
misclick.
I was curious about Maine.
You could just
here,
replay it and click Maine.
It's so
Yeah.
tiny.
Just see. Maine might be super low, but I think like the Dakotas probably will have.
See, it's not that
89.
low. Maine,
New Hampshire,
89.
48.
Go out in like the Dakotas. Go out
6 in
the-
Rhode Island.
That's tough.
That's the lowest.
Hawaii,
Dakotas might have.
probably.
No,
Hawaii?
Hawaii's got a lot. Hawaii's got 40. I bet.
15.
That's not accurate.
See, this isn't an accurate thing because I know for a fact Arizona has more
Arizona's
than
over
100.
100.
I live there.
You were. I
That's
know. That's
bull.
why when you said it, I was like, you better hope that's more.
No, that's
this might
not,
be a little
that's
bit
not
old.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
this
not
might
right.
be a little bit old. This
guarantee
might be
it.
but you got to remember too, like disc golf is blossoming right now. So like if this is a year old, it could be easily off like
Yeah.
5 for sure. But all right.
Damn, we blew it.
I feel like we did decent.
Okay, it's last. It says it's updated. Last updated 10/1/2022. So
Yeah, so
October
that makes
1st,
sense.
2022.
That makes sense. So Uli, you're probably right with Arizona right now. Probably has over. We should have. You know what we should have done? We should have looked at what the year was. This was
Well,
made.
I
That's my
remember
fault.
recently,
should've
the
done
reason I know that is because somebody had mentioned it like, hey, Arizona just passed 100 courses or whatever.
That's a big deal. Yeah, that's a big milestone. So, all right. In the future of Sporcles, Silas, remind me. We got to look at when the Sporcle was created.
Yeah.
That is important. But Uli, you can bounce, brother. We'll finish it out. I know you got lessons and all that jazz.
Yep.
And hey, I think you had one stretch there where you looked like a little bit of a potato. But outside of that, Silas, I think this worked.
Yeah. It works.
Well, I connected my thing again and just left it for a while, and I think it helped.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
You were
maybe
a
that's
potato
it
there
then.
for a moment, and then after that, you were freaking money.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
This
I'm
is
still gonna call
better-
the internet people and be like, hey, I'm
Oh,
having
for sure.
dropouts, and
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever looked bad though, and
No.
I've looked bad on Tour Life
yeah,
Live.
that's true.
So I think this is the play moving forward.
Yeah.
And me and Uli talked about it. We love our Tour Life crew members out there. We appreciate all you guys.
Yeah.
By doing it, by premiering it, I think you guys will still be able to live chat.
Yep.
But that will still be a benefit. But I think me and Uli are going to come up with some other stuff potentially to kind of bring
Agreed,
value
yeah.
to our Tour Life crew members. So we appreciate it. Uli, do you have anything before you head out to do some lessons?
No, but definitely if you own a disc golf shop, make sure you pre-order those Raptors, those cap wraps, man, because they're going
And-
quick. We only made a certain amount, so they could be gone. It
And
probably
your
won't be because
signature-
we made a lot, but
What's your signature series too? Because that technically is coming
that's
out.
my captain's Raptor is my end all be all. Like that's
You
my.
got the Captain's Raptors for the signature series? Release?
No, I don't
Did
have
you...
a signature series. I'm not on the elite team, Brodie. I'm on the
did
icon team.
They only do that for the elite team? I didn't know that.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you have the Captain Raptor. All right. So
Yep.
everyone go out, tell your this is what I want you to do. If you have a local retailer, go in there and be like, hey, you getting the Captain Raptors? And if they're like, what?
Please do that.
Let them know. Let them know. Go support your boy. Uli, appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Enjoy your lessons.
Yeah.
All right,
Bye-bye.
Silas, me and you, brother. Let's finish this baby out. All right. Listener questions. We got a couple today. This one is from Marusi. Should soft, eagleable par 4s and 5s even exist? Or should they be turned into harder par 3s and 4s instead? So I think there's a difference between what people, I think people have different ideas of what this means. So in my opinion, a soft par 4 is something that you're either going to eagle it or birdie it, right? Like you're throwing your drive, you're either going to make the putt for eagle or you're going to miss it and birdie it. A soft par 5, same kind of concept. You're going to throw a drive, you're going to throw your second shot, you're either going to make the putt or you're going to miss it. I don't think those are good because again, I'm all about score separation. I want to see a wider range. So if you think about the easiest hole that comes to my mind is it's like hole 7, 8, 9 at Innova at the Las Vegas Challenge. The hole famously made famous by Garrett Gurthey acing it. It sits in between the two bunkers. You've got the OB short green, you got OB behind, and then you have a really kind of tight landing zone that you can lay up and try to play for a birdie. If you go OB off the tee, you go to that kind of landing zone that isn't a guaranteed up and down. Very easy to throw that shot into a bunker. So I love that hole because you not only see 2s on a hole, you see 3s, you see 4s, you see 5s, and you sometimes even see 6s. So in my opinion, that is a good hole score separator. And I think there's enough room. Now, obviously, when it gets windy, it's a little bit more fluky, but I think there's enough room everywhere where the flukiness isn't really existent there. Good shots get rewarded, bad shots get punished. I love that. All right, this is from Berg. For the elite events, how many new winners will be in 2024? And how many people do you think will win multiple events? Okay, new winners. We had a lot of new winners this year. I think we're going to see, and by new winners, I mean they've never won on tour, right? That's what we're setting the standards here. They've never won on tour. I'm going to say 3 new winners. How many people do you think will win multiple events? I'm just kind of like doing the math in my head. Let's say 6. 6 people win multiple events. 3 new winners. Let's see how close at the end of the year. You can let me know. You guys can timestamp this or someone take this clip, save it for the end of the year and see how close I got. All right. The Locust, the Lurker. Discussion. When playing doubles with an odd number. Size, I might need your help with this too, because I'm not super familiar with this. When playing doubles with an odd number, solo gets to Cali. So Cali, I believe, means they get to throw 2 shots every single time. While the doubles are getting 2 from each placement, best shot, doesn't seem like an equal trade-off. We've started letting the single thrower bishop, or we start calling the single thrower bishop. They can use 2 bishops per hole, just not consecutively. Fair. So I think we all agree that if you have 3 people that all are the same skill level and 2 people are grouped up and they throw their shots, you take the best one. But then this guy over here throws a shot and then throws another shot and he takes the best one. The person that's able to adjust, change discs, do something different, they have a little bit more an advantage. So what this is saying is like you get to pick throughout a hole when you want to use that advantage, but you can only do it twice and you can't do it back to back. So I couldn't do it off the tee and then I couldn't do it for a putt. I like this. I like this a lot, Silas.
I like that too because it doesn't make the person, it's not on every shot. So it's not like unreasonably unfair, but it kind of, it evens the playing field out nice, I think. I haven't played that way, but I think it's a good way to play.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I also like it too because it adds a little bit of, I even like the idea of like playing 1v1 with someone with this concept of where like this could be a cool video if Hunter and Trevor do this at like New London. Every hole they get two bishops, but they can't use them back to back.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool video because now it's like you're strategizing do I want to save it for my 2 putts? Like I think that's really cool. I'm going to talk to them about that. I think they should do that at New London. I think that would be cool. That's really awesome. I like that. How do you feel about the idea of a celebrity pro-am during the All-Star weekend? I'm not certain that there's enough appeal for the big name celebrities, but if they went hard with it, don't you like it? Don't you think it could bring fresh attention to the sport and maybe sell some tickets? I like it a lot more at an event than separate. Like I think if you're going to do this celebrity thing, they did something similar to this at like D-Glow where they had like Ben Askren come out. They had Bert come out. I think that makes a lot of sense at an event already. So I like this a lot more of adding a celebrity pro-am to the All-Star weekend. I think that could actually do well than trying to do a celebrity pro-am completely separate. That's what I would say on that. If Brodie's knees weren't ever injured, where would he be today? Disc golf, ultimate. It would be ultimate because the only way I was really introduced to disc golf was when my ultimate career was over, when I couldn't play ultimate really anymore. That's how I kind of got introduced to disc golf. So I think I loved ultimate so much. I loved it. So the idea that I would just somehow, even though I was still playing and playing at like the highest level I could, the idea that I would just like walk away from that to start a brand new sport doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't think I would do that. So I would still definitely be playing ultimate. How do you use rollers? Favorite disc for them, forehand and backhand? So I'm a little bit different. When I throw my rollers, I don't throw them very much different than my normal shots. I just use a much flippier disc. So my rollers that I really like, and I'll probably try to get these dialed in because I think it did cause me a little bit of issues at some tournaments because I was throwing so many different ones. The rollers that I currently throw that I'm probably going to figure out the one that I'm going to stick with, Avenger SS, Janus Thrasher, and the Scorch. Those are my 3 backhand rollers. And I throw them kind of flat and then have them turn throughout their flight and hit kind of on with a decent amount of angle, and they kind of flip up throughout their flight. Now, other players will, if you watch like Eagle's a perfect example of someone that will throw like an overstable disc that's more on the flippy side, like an overstable disc that used to be overstable, but now is more flippy because of how beat in it is. He'll throw that more on a vertical angle out of his hand, and that way it kind of stays more straight throughout. I don't personally like throwing rollers like that. Some people do, and they're really good at them. For forehand rollers, I throw Avenger SS for my like flat to turnover roller, and then because it's way more comfortable for me to throw a forehand roller vertical than it is for me to try to throw a backhand vertical, I will throw some forehand rollers, mostly on the scramble side, like getting out of tight spots. I'll go with the Raptor and just throw that because in that's kind of like a point and shoot. It just goes kind of exactly where I'm aiming or where the disc lands. So those are my roller discs. Last question here. Think of us Canadian homes before you get upset at fans asking about your round. We don't have data. Now, this isn't really a question, but this makes a good point, Silas. I've stood on this soapbox multiple times on this podcast where I tell you guys, hey, listen, the last thing you should do is ask someone how their round went after their round, because it could be a very awkward situation where someone played poorly and you're like, hey, how'd your round go? And they have to be like, hey, I sucked out there. I just missed cat. Like, it can be very, very awkward. So I always tell people, like, do not ask that question. However, this person brings up a great point. We do have our friends up north in Canada. I'm sure, are coming to a lot of events that are right near the border, and they might not have the data. They might not be able to go on and look. So my question to you, Silas, is how far away do you think we are? I mean, kind of going back to Yuli's point a little bit earlier, how far away are we from being able to have like a score bearer, like someone that's like, they do it right now.
Don't they
at a
have
lot of
that?
Tournaments for lead card and chase card?
Okay, yeah.
They do it for a lot of tournaments for lead card and chase card. How close are we, do you think? Years. Give me a years of having every card have a score thing.
Oh, I mean, it's got to be a while, because before you even have that, I think you have people on UDisc keeping score, just even on their phones. And right now,
and that's hard. That's hard to get everywhere.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So I'm going 7 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say
a good while.
I was gonna say like 10 years probably for that. Now, obviously, there's crazy growth again, similar to what we saw during COVID. Who knows? But the way that we've kind of been going throughout the season, I see it firsthand. It's sometimes very, very difficult to find people to even do UDisc on each card. So the idea that you're going to have another person doing a scoring for the people at the event, that seems a little bit far
I think
away.
Going back to your asking how your round went kind of thing, I feel like that is almost like a conversation starter now. Like, that's just people's go-to is like, oh, how'd your round go? Like, oh, how are you doing?
I could see that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
Yeah.
I understand how that would.
Maybe I'm a bad person. Right? Because like when someone says how are you doing, you normally don't really want to respond with like, oh, well, my dog died today. And I lost my job and I just lost $10,000 in the market. Like you normally are kind of like, oh, it's not too bad. How are you? So maybe I'm a bad person for being
I don't know.
For being like, I played like absolute trash. I missed the cut. I don't know what I'm doing with my life.
Well,
maybe
I mean, you're just being honest.
Wasn't that bad? Yeah, I know. But maybe I should be like, it wasn't that bad.
I get both point of views.
Maybe I should change my mind. I don't know. This person got to me. So maybe you'll see a new Brodie in the 2024 season. All right. Housekeeping, what's going on, what's happening? Monthly subscription boxes, guys. We still have some available. In these monthly subscription boxes, you will be getting some special edition Discraft discs this month. So definitely check that out on foundationdisc.com if you haven't already. I alluded to it a little bit with Uli. We have, Janice, can you grab my disc golf bag for me actually real quick? We have Signature Series discs. They've already released. If you're listening or watching to this now, they have already released. They released on Tuesday, December 12th. You can go to brodiesmith.discraft.com, or you can go to like the Discraft player page. This is what I'm talking about for the Signature Series. For our audio listeners, I got the ESP Buzz. It's got my Dark Horse logo at the bottom. It's got my signature at the top. These are kind of like an additional pieces. I know there was some confusion with the name. Like, are these replacing Tour Series discs? This was like an additional thing that Discraft is doing for their players, I guess, leading into Christmas and the New Year. This is additional. This is not taking over Tour Series. This is like an additional thing moving forward. So those are available, and we still have the double stamp. Some of the colors are already gone, but we still have double stamped Get Freakies, which I don't know. Have I showed? I don't know if I showed you these in person. Some of these color combinations are absolutely filthy. This one might go in the bag. the black on black with the white undertones there. These turned out really sweet. So, and they're overstable, get freaky. So if you're looking for anything, go check out brodiesmith.discraft.com. Go check out the subscription boxes that we have on foundationdisc.com. Make sure you're tuning in, or at least pop in and say what's up on Thursday night or all day Friday when Trevor's doing his 24-hour live stream. For Life crew, we're going to reach out to you guys. I think I'm going to do a live stream this week. So be on the lookout for details on that on the community page, or if you're on our Discord, I'll give you details on when that's happening. I think I'm going to do a live stream and do a little Q&A and maybe try to figure out some things moving forward on maybe bringing a little bit more value to the Tour Life crew. Update on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Spotify has just crossed 800. We're at 801 reviews on Spotify. Shout out to all of our Spotify listeners. We're at 209 reviews on Apple. Shout out to our Apple listeners. We appreciate each and every one of you. Our 5K Instagram giveaway. What are we at right now on Instagram, Silas? Can you pull that up real quick on how many followers we have on Instagram? We are getting closer and closer to 5,000. If you're listening and you have not yet followed the Instagram, you're going to want to do that soon because we are getting closer and closer to 5,000. Once we hit 5,000, I will be giving away those 2 discs that we just showed for those listening. That is a Jawbreaker Crystal Raptor with the Uli logo, and you've got the double OG Dark Horse logo on a Nuke. So those 2 will be giving away.
Yeah.
Do you got the numbers, Silas?
Yeah, we're at 4,338.
4,338. We're getting closer and closer, and we appreciate everyone that's following all of us on our socials. I think our social team right now, Silas is killing it. We got David, we got Grant, we got all of our social people killing it with the clips and everything. So if you're not following us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, definitely do that, because some of these clips that are coming out are pretty freaking hilarious that they're whipping up. So I always enjoy watching those, and hopefully you guys do as well. I think that's it. Hopefully this turned out better for everyone. Again, this is not going to impact you if you're listening. This probably had 0 impact. It's probably like, oh, this was the same old. But if you're watching this on YouTube, which a lot of you do, hopefully this was a better experience. Hopefully we didn't look like potatoes. Hopefully we sounded crispy. And if so, we're going to potentially do this more in the future, so that way it's better for everyone involved. Other than that, I've got nothing. I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.